twist around and went viral right from my driver's seat. Just like what the industry was containing. I'd rather make a difference instead of hating, complaining. So let me park the whip, it don't matter, rapper or model chick, singer or comedian, perfect. Let's park in politics. Hey, let's park in politics. Welcome to the pullover, let's park in politics. This the pullover, let's park in politics. I say this the pullover, let's park in politics.
That's right. That's right.
Let's park in politics.
There we go. That's right. We are parking and politicking tonight, man. Well, sorry for being late right quick. You know what I'm saying? Usually I would have been on already, but this is the life of a truck driver, you know? We are driving. I was caught up in Cincinnati traffic. As you guys know, that if you come through Ohio from Kentucky, that bridge for some odd reason has been shut down. To my understanding, I believe it was like an accident that pretty much took it over or something like that. But we are here, and that's what I do. I am here for you guys. Well, tonight's guest, oh my God. I met this young lady, and I saw her story in a Facebook group, and she's been trucking for 20 years just about, and I want to get her story out. A lot of truck drivers out here that's trucking right now, you know, they need to know need to know her story. So let's go ahead and introduce Amara to the show. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Amara, how are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm alive. I'm on the other side of the dirt. That's all that matters.
That's what's up. So let's just jump right into it. Let's before we get into it, tell us a little bit about your background. What was your you know, where you came from, how you started trucking and all that good stuff?
I'm originally from Kentucky, a little town called La Center, but I moved up to Paducah when my mother passed away. And I started working at a company called North Star Steel, where I was a shipping coordinator. I started talking to drivers, decided I wanted to go get my CDL, and then I started driving. 2007, I was called to go into the office and become a freight broker of military freight. 2010, I started my own company, and it's been off and on driving for several people, and basically I'm here and was getting ready to get into the field of starting my company back up again until I was caught with some news that I really wasn't wanting to hear, but
all right,
gotta roll with the punches.
All right, so you started back 2007. What was your experience like coming in at that time as a female driver?
Well, I started in 1995, and when I came in 1995, I didn't see any women. So I was like, there's no women. And I mean, I did not see any women when I went to orientation class, because I started with Burlington Motor Carriers when they had the day cabs and no jake brakes. Mm-hmm. So I got trained very well, very fast. And you just didn't see women. Oh, I didn't, but it was just like we weren't there. So,
okay.
And then in 2007, I had a gentleman come to me, and he was talking to me, and we talked, and he was like, well, I want you to meet a friend of mine, because he's needing somebody to broker freight, and he don't have a truck driver, and they keep having to give the loads back to the military. And he said, and they're shunning on it. So I went into I talked to the guy, he hired me, I went into the office. My first load went 700 miles and paid $10,800. It was from the Marines, and they told me that they wanted me each. The next time they have something to move, they was going to call me.
Okay.
So I was there for a minute. I ended up, Fort Hood wouldn't do business with him because he messed up so many loads. So I called the logistics department over in Fort Hood. They was like, you know what? We're going to give you 5 loads. Gave me 5 loads, and he messed them up. And then they called me, and the woman said, run. She said, because he's going to have your name messed up with the military, and you don't want that. So I pretty much left and went back out trucking. I started hauling flowers.
Okay.
So I pretty much hauled every trailer in the industry. I've drove tankers. I've done, when I had my company in 2010, I was doing flatbed over dimensional. I've done vans, reefers, curtain side. I've done that over at JB Hunt. The last thing that I had never really done was oil fields. So in 2018, I went out in the oil fields and pulled sandboxes because I wanted to see what it was like and what the price of freight was, because that's what I've been doing, is gathering information all these years that I've been driving. Because in 2003, when I was with JB Hunt, I met an ice road trucker, and he wanted to buy me coffee, and he told me he drove across the ice, and that just tripped me out. I just couldn't really believe why anybody would want to do that.
They got a TV
I'm just going to give
series.
you some advice.
Yeah,
but when I told people back then, they didn't believe it.
Now they got the popular TV series, and everybody is so interested in that now. Amari,
right?
Amari, you've been in this game as a female trucker for all these years. Majority of these years has not been great for you.
No.
Is a lot of females that's interested in coming into trucking, they only see the flip side of it. They only see the great, the glitz, the glamour of it. You are here today to tell them that there's what all that glitter ain't gold. Am I right?
No, it's really not.
Let them know. Let them know what they are. What some of them are really are in for when they come into this game.
Well, I'll give you a prime example. 2017, a friend wanted me to come driving for him for flatbed. I told him I would, because we were friends. We had met in 2010 doing FEMA out in Texas when a hurricane was coming in, and I basically got the call from my company to go out there, which I made $15,000 to sit for just 2 days, and I never hauled a load anywhere. I was at the base station. So we met there, a couple of us. We've been friends for years. He wanted me to drive for him. I'm like, okay. So he bought a truck from Ryder, sent me over to pick it up. I took off, headed out to Texas. I get out to Texas, and he said, how's the truck driving? I said, well, it's wobbling in the front for some reason. I said, it's wobbling. And he said, well, we'll get it looked at when you get back. Well, if it had been my truck, because when I had my own company, I took my truck to the shop. It went every weekend to get checked out. So I'm coming back. I was over in Mississippi, and it was nighttime, and I heard a loud pop. I knew what it was because I've been driving for so long. It was the driver's side steer tire. I said, you better buckle down. And I knew I had to think fast. And it wasn't and I had 48,000 pounds of lumber that I had tied down on that trailer. It went to the right to go down off into the trees. I turned the wheel to the left. I went all the way across the Mum. I was on Interstate 10. I went all the way over on the westbound side. I seen the trucks coming down, and it was dark. I was like, they're not going to see me. It's going to be ugly. So then I turned the wheel the other way, and when I did, it took me down through the medium, and it had been raining, so the mud stopped the truck tire. At that time, my heart was panting, and I so much adrenaline. The DOT officer jumped up on the passenger side. He said, you know what? I said, yes, sir. He said, you're one hell of a driver. He said, the load didn't even shift. He said, don't worry about it. It's not going to go on your license. Do you know that I found out that he hadn't even put me on the insurance? I could have killed me and other people. It's no joke. These people will put you out here in some stuff that will kill you. And this truck came from Ryder, brand new. Come to find out, Ryder was supposed to have changed the tires on the front of the truck and didn't do it.
So this first incident right here was a botched truck, and you by the grace of God, the term Jesus takes the wheel really was on your side.
Right, because I was leaning over to the left with the right side of the truck up. That's how I had to drive that truck.
Wow.
You got to be out here and know how to drive. Because if you don't know how to handle that stuff, you're going to kill yourself.
Wow.
2018. Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Told him I drove the night shift hauling Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove all night, get in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of going to bed, I'm going to go ahead and do my laundry, clean up the house, because then I can go to bed and all that, and I'm off tomorrow. I ain't got nothing to do. He calls me and like, I need you to take a load. I said, well, I can't. I said, I haven't been asleep. He said, oh, well, we ain't got nobody to do it. You got to take it. I get in the truck. I go up to Ohio, make my drop. I come back. I remember stopping at a truck stop. I got some coffee and I got some orange juice. I put my seatbelt on, and I don't know. I couldn't even explain. I wish I had a camera in the truck. I woke up. I was sitting on the passenger side in between the passenger seat and the gear shift. Legs stretched out, sitting there just like a kid. And I looked to the left. I said, oh, my God, you're not in the driver's seat. The truck's still moving. I was in eastern Kentucky on Interstate 75. I went off the top of a cliff. The truck flew over trees and landed in a cornfield. I remember hearing drivers at the top of the mountain calling to me and asking me, was I okay? When the police and the paramedics, the police and the tow people got there, they was like, we're trying to figure out, how did you not slip? He said, it's just like you pulled into the cornfield and parked. So the insurance company said, you didn't have your seatbelt on. I said, let me tell you something, honey. I said, that's the first thing that I put on was when I got in the truck was the seatbelt.
Right.
I said, this is divine intervention. I said, because I have yet to figure out how I could have got out of the driver's seat and be sitting perfectly positioned over in between the gear shift and the seat. Wow. I saw myself go over those trees and land in that field. And my boss, he said, are you okay? I said, no, my back is hurting. He left me at the pilot. I think it's the pilot you would call. It's the one just south of Lexington. I can't remember, or maybe north of Lexington, but it's the only pilot out there. He wouldn't answer no more of my phone calls. At the time, I called my boyfriend. He came all the way up there to Lexington from where we lived in Tennessee to get me. It took him 6 hours.
Wait,
I had to sit there in the pilot wet.
Wait, the guy that you was driving for, your boss, literally left you at literally left you at the pilot after the accident?
Yeah. Police was like, why is he not answering the phone? I said, I don't even know. The tow truck driver said, well, look, we closed. We're not 24 hours. We're going to find somewhere to take you. I said, is it a truck stop? He said, yeah, it's a pilot. I said, take me there. They took me to the pilot. They went up there and they said, can she please sit in here? This young lady just had a bad accident. And they said, yes. He said that she's waiting on somebody to come get her. He quit answering the phone. My boyfriend came to get me. Took him. I didn't get home till 11 at night. I was hurting so bad. But, this is the kicker. He told me I was going to have to take a drug test. And I was like, I'm fine with that. He then never did answer the phone. When I called him the next day about the drug test, he was like, it's too late to take one. So what he done was he told workman's comp that I flunked the drug screen, and I refused to take it.
But you never took a you
pension.
never took a drug test.
No, he never sent the chain of custody.
Wow.
I have a pinched nerve in my neck. I have a pinched nerve in my back, and I have a herniated disc in the middle of my back. And I just had to fire my attorney for that case because basically they were railroading me.
So you got a new attorney that's still working the case?
I ain't getting an attorney because that was Morgan and Morgan, and I knew he was railroading me because when we had the conference we had to have, my thing is, if a person keeps asking you the same question over, your attorney is supposed to say, "I object, Your Honor." She's already asked that question. My attorney was having a full-fledged conversation in the background. I could hear it.
Wow.
They were all in cahoots together. So I called him and I said, "You're fired, you're fired, you're fired." So now he has a lien against me for $1,000 and some dollars.
Wow. It's been
2006. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying it's been a rough road. Continue.
2016. Let me back up. Went to drive for a guy in Memphis. I knew something wasn't right. I could feel it. I drove all the way down to Florida because I'm a driver. When I get on the road, I ride. I drove from Memphis all the way down to Florida, delivered the load, turned around, and came all the way back. I said, so when I get here, I'm going to take a nap. So I remember they kept saying, "Oh, we need you to come to the yard and hand in the paperwork." And I was like, some told me, start taking pictures. I started taking pictures of bills, the fuel receipts, all that stuff. It's called CYA. I learned that the first thing when I came to trucking.
Always cover your ass. Yes, sir.
I pulls in, and the one guy, he wasn't there. He showed up. I was so tired, I had fell asleep in the driver's seat. And he said, "You got your paperwork?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Look, I'm tired. I got to lay down." And he said, "Just back up in the hole right there." And he said, "And lay down." I said, "All right." So I'm laying down. I hadn't even been in there 10 minutes. I hear a knock on the door. And I'm like, who in the world is knocking on my door? So I look, and he was like, "Look, I need you to get up. I got 2 loads I need you to take. They ain't going nothing but 100 miles, and they paying $1,200 a piece." And I said, "I'm not going nowhere." He said, "What you mean you ain't going nowhere?" "Yes, you are." I said, "Look, I'm tired." I said, "I just drove all the way down to Florida and all the way back. I need to take my 10-hour break." Right. He said, "No, you taking these loads."
Wow.
So I was like, so I pulled up to the company they released to at the front door, and I'm mad. So I walk in there, and I'm trying to tell him what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I come back. He done parked his truck in the parking lot and took my truck, which had my charger, my bank card, and all my clothes, everything in it. He took my truck to go pick the loads up. Why would you do that? So I called his boss and tell him what was going on. He said, "Well, I'm coming over." And he said, "You can get in one other truck that may be a charge in there," but it wasn't a charge in there. So then I come on out. He shows up with the truck. And I said, "Look, I'm over it. I quit." I said, "I'm getting my stuff out the truck." "No, you ain't getting your stuff out the truck. You're going to wait until I get back." "No, I'm not." So he was like 400 pounds, and I was like 150 something wet. And I'm like, shoot, you think I can't run up this hill? So I ran up the hill. He had the door locked. I couldn't get in it. I said, "Unlock the door where I can get in." He said, "No." So he stand there. He said, "Move out the way." I said, "No, I'm not." So he kept pushing me with his belly. And I don't like that. I said, "Look, don't try to intimidate me." I said, "Because you're not." So he kept doing it. I said, "If you do it again, I'm going to push you back." So he done it again, and I pushed him. Next thing I know, I'm laying on the pavement, bleeding, and he's dancing around me, talking about that's what you get. And to this day, I have a neurological disconnect, and it's been confirmed by 2 doctors. They told me that I'll have a concussion without losing consciousness.
Have you?
And that's another case that's supposed to be going in January up there in Knoxville because, check this out. The guy was friends with the Memphis Police Department, The company seen what happened on the camera because all the people in the office came outside like, what's going on? He took off before the police got there. The fire department came, and the head guy at the fire department, he wrapped my arm up. He said, look, leave here and get somewhere safe. Because he could kind of tell it wasn't a good environment for me to be in. So then his boss was like, oh, we're going to take you to a hotel and this, that, and the other. So he takes me to his house, trying to keep me from basically going to the hospital. But the people at the fire department said, make sure you go to the hospital. So when I got to the hotel, they didn't get me to the hotel at 11 at night. This happened at 5 o'clock. So when the people at the police officer came, they took a police report. But the guy that was his boss was friends with the people with the police department. They told me, he said, look, he said he didn't do it. And if you come back down here again, we're going to lock you up.
So the guy...
this is how all this played out.
This guy...
They took all my money, left me in a hotel. I got kicked out the hotel on Thanksgiving Eve. I ended up walking across the street because it's on Lamar Avenue. The hotel was. I walked across the street. My stuff, they let me keep it in the breezeway. I called my dad crying on the phone, and my dad has cancer. He takes 12 different medications. I didn't want to call him. He gave me the money. I ended up finding some girl to room with who was psycho, and that wasn't a good idea. And I ended up going to another company as fast as I could when I didn't really need to be working anywhere. But yeah, that's what happened.
So this guy, are these companies that you driving for, are they like owner ops? These are owner ops.
They were owner ops, but the company they were leased to is a big company. And the thing was, the big company lied because I could have sued them because it happened on their property. So when the police went up there and asked them, so that's what was said for the video. Oh, well, I looked at the video and we really couldn't tell what was going on or who's who. And I knew it was a lie. Because if they couldn't tell who was who, they would have never came out there and was like, why did he do that to her? So they stuck to their story.
But
guess what? He wrote an affidavit of truth I got right now where he said he did body slam me on the ground.
How did you actually find these guys? Like,
I went through a temp service out of Memphis, and the woman had him listed down as one of the people. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, out of all this time that you've been trucking, I mean, you've been getting it, man. And has there been any is there any success story out of this whole ordeal that you've been in? Have you received
very
any
good success story? I have a couple. You wouldn't believe it.
Okay.
I remember they hired me in 1996 to drive for them, and I was hauling doubles for a company called TNT Dugan. It's an old company, and I was hauling for them, and I never forget. Every weekend, they would want me to stay at their house and go camping. Her husband bought this big old bass boat, took me out there fishing with them, treated me like family. And I never forget the day he was like, I'm going to take you somewhere today. I said, really? And he said, yep, me and Angie going to take you somewhere. I said, well, where are we going? And he took me to the dealership. And he said, I'm going to let you pick what you want to ride in this time. He said, do you want that black Peterbilt or do you want that red Freightliner? I said, I'll take the black Peterbilt. And to this day, I'm still friends with them. They live in Eastern Kentucky.
So
yeah.
one of my
took very good care of me. I make good money.
Mocha DMG, one of my she's my moderator. She says, she said, what is this you going through, like slavery? Like that dude really came after you like that, like, yo, you gonna do this or else type deal.
Yeah, it just tripped me out. That's why I went and parked the truck and went in to talk to the company he's leased to. And I went in there and I told him, I said, look, I drove all the way down to Florida and back. I said, and I'm tired. I said, how does he think I'm fixing to go 100 miles? I said, I fell asleep even going around the building in the truck. And I said, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. He told the judge I lied and cussed him out. He didn't know I record every phone call. That's why I tell truck drivers, record my call on your phone. And when the judge, we were in Workman's Comp court, the judge was like, well, I want to hear the tape. His attorney said, well, it's irrelevant. He said, no, because it's going to show his character, and I'll find out if he's lying or not. And he found out he was lying because he cussed me out. And he had told the judge I cussed him out. So then what I found out is that the dates, all that got messed up, and I was trying to do other things. So instead of the judge kicking it out, they told me that I could come back to Tennessee and refile it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is take that affidavit of truth to Tennessee and say, look, he admitted right here he body slammed me on the pavement.
That's what's up. Take that back to court and get some money out of that right there, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, I've got all this stuff, but I mean, it's like it's very stressful right now. You know what I'm saying? I got all this going on. And then I just had an accident, 12/29, calling U.S. Mail because the idiot that I was driving for, I'm telling you, this is crazy. His truck was shut down by the TA. Now, he told me he done fixed the truck. But it was crazy when we get the truck, the placards is just. So I ran into the side of a mountain to keep from killing the guy. He was out there playing on the highway, kept slamming his brakes in front of me. And when we was coming down the interstate, I seen stopped traffic. So what I done is I got into the other lane to move from him so I'd be able to stop because I'm like, him in front of me playing, I'm going to run in him and kill him. So when I moved to the right, he moved to the right. And at that point, I had a choice. You can either hit him and kill him, or you can run into the mountain. And I ran head on into the mountain.
The one picture that you sent me, you actually sent me a couple of pictures. The one accident, the one that you're talking about now, is this the one with the white truck?
Yeah, I hit the mountain head on with my team driver in there. He went to the hospital, and I played Superwoman. And the next day, I was going to a friend of mine's house, and my legs started going numb where I could barely feel them. And I said, call the ambulance and have them there when I get there. I said, because I can't feel my legs. So by the time I got there, I couldn't feel anything, and they had to take me out the car. I stayed in the hospital for 4 days. The guy that I saved his life, he never stopped, didn't care, kept going.
Wow.
That's one thing I said I'd never do was take anybody's life if I had a choice.
Wow. Now, this other picture that you sent me,
that's when I went off the mountain.
That's the one when you was in the Amazon load, right?
Yeah. Oh, but let me tell you this. 2 weeks after the accident, Amazon calls me looking for their trailer. He had took the trailer trying to get it fixed before Amazon could see it. Come to find out, he didn't even have any workman's comp insurance.
Wow.
And when you pull for Amazon, you have to have workman's comp. And he was in Florida. He's supposed to have it. It was a lot of covering up, money paid off, all that. And then when I tried to get a job, the one lady at one company out of Coleman, Alabama, she said, honey, I'm just going to tell you the truth. She said, he's telling people you want the drug screen. She said, we called him. She said, and if he keeps doing that, you're going to have to go and take a test and all that. Go through that rehab stuff.
These guys that you're driving for, that you had to...
He had 8 trucks in Amazon.
Wow. These guys that you're driving for, or that you're driven for, that you had the accidents in, are they on your record? Your DOT?
Oh, God, yes.
On your DAC report?
All that's on there. Oh, no, I ain't on that. It's on that TSP, though. That TSP is what'll get you. Yeah. So that's why I always said if I was ever to be able to go back out there and do what it was I wanted to do, it would have to be in my own stuff. I refuse to get in anybody else's truck, and I'm not a. That company. I mean, companies are good and all that, but I used to work for UPS, and I can't do the robot thing. I can't.
So these
And when I was
so these accidents are on your PSP, but not your DAC report. Have you had any
they're on my
issues
PSP.
throughout your 20 years after these accidents? Have you gotten with any other companies afterwards? And
Oh no, ain't
they
nobody
didn't-
gonna hire me. I can get a dump truck job. I ain't gonna get no road job.
Wow.
They gonna pull up a PSP and be like, "Girl, you done ran a whole lot of shit."
Wow, I am so sorry.
And they're not even my fault. That's the crazy thing. I don't mind if it was my fault, but they're not my fault. The woman that she said, "Well, nobody's seen it." I know insurance companies, they ain't investigate all that. Well, and nobody's seen anybody else and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, whatever.
Is there a way, like, like on your credit report, you can get it cleared up or challenge it? Is there a way that you can challenge your PSP report? To at least show that it wasn't your fault.
No way I can wipe all that stuff off of there. I just got to get my nerves and stuff together, because with what I got going on now, it basically overrides all of that.
Yeah,
I got to figure out how to get rent paid, lights paid, food in here.
We see
my
your struggle.
Come help me clean up.
We see your struggle now. Get us caught up to what's going on, because like I said, I seen your story, and it all started with you seeing blood in your urine. What happened?
Well, I've been feeling real dizzy. I couldn't figure out what, but I knew I was fasting. I went on a 30-day fruit fast, and then I was going to go on a 40-day water fast. That was the plan. I was fine. I was doing the water, sea moss, gel, fine. Then I started feeling dizzy. I was like, dang, I said, why is it? I get up, and then it was like I take a couple of steps, and it was like I could feel myself like leaning, and I'm like, whoa, you need to lay down. So then Monday, I go to use the bathroom, and I was like, I'm 53, and I haven't had a period since I was 36. And I'm like, what? I said, is that blood in the toilet? So I was like, okay, so I'm like, maybe I'm hallucinating. You want to always think that maybe you're not seeing what you see. So then I go again, and I was like, oh my God, it's not from me, it's just coming out where I urinate. So I'm like, okay, just calm down, lay down. So I laid down, and I got back up, and I went this time, and the toilet was like somebody had been stabbed. It was real dark red, and I panicked. So I was like, if I'm going to go to the hospital, I'm going to go to the best hospital, and I went to Emory. So I get down there, and I told the woman, I said, look, I said, I got a problem. I said, something is wrong. I said, I don't feel good. I said, I feel real nauseated. I said, and for some reason, I said, I feel dizzy. It's like I take a couple of steps, and I'm real, 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 real tired, and it's like I'm going to pass out. And she said, well, I tell you what, go give us a urine sample. I said, okay. So I go in there to give her a urine sample, and I come back, because I knew what it was going to look like. And I come back, and she was like, oh my God. She said, oh my God. She said, yes, something's wrong.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the picture right now, and that's scary. That's scary, not good. I mean, that came out of you. No, that's so wow.
So the doctor come in, And he told me, he said, you might have liver or kidney cancer. Can't drive anymore. The sucked the soul right out of me. This is all I've known all my life. The one thing my dad told me, he said, you must really like trucking. He said, it's the only thing I've seen you really do for a long time, and you've been doing it. He said, and I thought you wouldn't live this long. It's just, I'm having a rough time. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me. A lot of stuff.
I am
I
speechless.
just wanted to once have my own truck and not, like the reason I don't have my company anymore because the Volvo dealership in Atlanta sold me a wrecked truck on purpose. And I knew the truck was wrecked. And my one friend that drove, he was like, Joyce, I don't think it's wrecked. I said, Ira, this truck's been wrecked. I said, I can feel it. The first load I done was a FEMA load, and the last load I done, I was up there doing Hurricane Sandy in New York. I was up there for 3 weeks, and FEMA came over. I was the only woman that was up there with the truck, and they came over and they said, look, we want you to get set up with us. He said, and that way you'll be making $1,400 a day if you was set up with us. At that time, I was making $900 a day. And when I came back down and got over to Memphis, I was at the Freightliner dealership in tears, and the guy was like, look, he said, we're going to only outsource it. He said, so I'm going to tell you to take it to. And I took it to a guy over in Memphis called Leland and Soul. And he said, it's going to take us 2 hours to look through it. And he said, what you think's wrong with it? I said, I think they sold me a wrecked truck. I had gave them $28,000 cash for that truck. Because I know at one time my dad was going to really need me. And I just wanted to make it. I named the company after him and everything. And when he come back, he said, Miss Beasley, you're absolutely correct. He said, they sold you a wrecked truck. He said, it's a Frankenstein truck. They pieced it back together and sold it to you. He said, come here, I'm going to show you. He showed me where it had like a 2-inch bend in the sidewall and then flipped. I never had a chance. I just never had a chance.
Wow. I am terribly, terribly sorry to hear this happening from what I have heard as a very strong, independent woman. And it's unfortunate that you like getting hit with literal bad luck throughout your trucking journey. The results that you still waiting on the results for the
Yeah, because I'm so scared. Because the other day I had all these spots coming out. It was just like it looked like it might be part of my bladder and kidneys. I don't know. I just hate going in the bathroom. I hate looking in the toilet. I just hate all of it.
Now you came and gave a good advice, and I have a bad habit of doing that myself, of holding my urine.
Do not hold your urine.
Yeah,
don't do it. I'm telling you, I was doing that all my career, trying to hang out there with the big boys, but didn't know they had bottles.
That's some good advice.
I gotta
right
laugh
now.
sometimes to keep from crying, but I'm telling you, this is the result. If you keep holding your urine, you can't. I don't care if you got to get a bucket, anything, a cup, whatever. Don't do it. Just don't do it, and don't be just drinking water. Get some coconut water. You need to keep your system hydrated. Because even though you're drinking water, if it's not a hydrating water, and that's where people don't understand. Because, see, I have my own herbal company. So no matter what's going on with me, I'm going to fight it with herbal medicine because that's all I believe in. And I already know that because I have an herb in my house right now that's called Siberian chaga. And I found out 2 years ago it heals cancer because my neighbor had it and I was giving it to her. And I came off the road and I asked her how she was doing. And she said, you know what? My doctor wanted me to find out what you was giving me. I said, you don't remember? She said, no. I said, what did he say? He said, whatever you was giving me was the cancer cells count was going down. So I know I got it here. And I've got about 17, 18 pounds of it.
What?
So I'm telling you, that holding your urine, you can't do it. It's not even worth the outcome.
Amara,
Really not.
What are you doing? What are you doing right now for your financial situation? Are you getting unemployed? Are you getting unemployment? Are you getting government assistance? What's going on with you right now as far as your finance go?
Well, I've learned to quit trusting everybody to smile. So I had this I thought was a friend, ex-military, help me set up one of my companies. She also had helped me file for unemployment. So I made them, aware that I was in Georgia, and they was like, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll shut this account down and you can file in Georgia. I'm like, okay. She said, well, wait a minute.
Hold on before you continue. Are you in Georgia now or are you back in Memphis?
No, I'm in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Okay, continue.
So she said, well, wait a minute. She said, you have a case in Georgia. I'm like, no, I do not. She said, yes, you do. She said, aren't you Joyce Beasley? I said, no, I'm Joyce Beasley Ali. And she said, no. She said, Joyce Beasley's got a case. And I said, what? She said, matter of fact, you got a case in Georgia, Nevada, and California. I said, what?
What are these cases?
She opened 3 unemployment cases in 3 different states in my name.
Your friend. This is your friend.
And you know how I know it was her? Yes. And you know how I know it was her? Because she's got PTSD.
Okay.
And I quit talking to her because she started acting crazy and it scared me. And I'd be like, ooh, I can't do all that. So I blocked her. So when she tried to call me, it was August 8th. And I guess she knew she was blocked. She opened up all those accounts on August 13th. And each one of those accounts, they told me that she has a person's name, email address, and address where the cards could go and she'd be able to have them to send them to her. And the one here in Georgia, I have her information, and I did call her.
Okay.
And then when I mentioned who, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She opened. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell is it possible for you to open up multiple unemployment cases
in the military. That's what she done with paperwork.
Oh,
she knows how to do all that.
Oh, okay. So this was on purpose. Was she trying to fraudulent or something like that?
Right. Yeah. She got me, and she went in Duns and Bradstreet and changed my company information. So I had to call Duns and Bradstreet and put security code and all that on my stuff. Because she's the one that helped me with the company. So that's how I knew it was her. So the first thing I done was call Georgia Bureau of Investigations. I'm not playing. You want to do that to me? I got you, boo-boo. Yep, that's what she done. So now it's been 2 months. I've been calling unemployment back to back every day. No phone call back. I finally called Captain Cutner with the GBI in tears. I told him, I said, my rent's $1,800 behind. My lights are going to be turned off. I ain't even checked on the water because I'm like, I don't even want to check on nothing else. This is a lot. And he said, you know what? He said, I know somebody at the unemployment office. I'm going to give her your information and have her call. She called me, but the people that she said, you're going to have to do it. I've already done a police report here in Blue Ridge. So she said, get the police report, write an affidavit of truth, your driver's license and your social security card. She said, and I'm going to go over here and get the address or the fax number where you need to send it to so they can get that stuff off. Because every time I go in there to try to set up and open up unemployment, it says enter your PIN. That's how I know it's in there. Because I'm like, I've never set a PIN and I've never been in here. So yeah, that's what she did.
And y'all was supposed to be quote unquote friends. How long have you been knowing this young lady?
Yeah. I've been knowing her for over a year. And the funny part about it was that's whose house I was on the way to when I ran in that mountain and told her to call the ambulance because I couldn't feel my legs.
Wow. That's wow.
Yeah. So the lady today called me and she said, girl, she said, I'm not going to be able to get in contact with them people till the 15th. She said, I happened to talk to the security guard. She said, and I'm kind of pissed off. I said, what's going on? She said, because she said, I kept wondering why there wasn't no cars in the parking lot. She said, come to find out, 6 floors are shut down because somebody in there had COVID. So she said, they ain't in there. She said, and they're not going to be back until the 15th. So by the time I get all that done, try to get that started, it's going to be 2 weeks after then before I even get back. And then the insurance company been playing games back and forth with me about that accident. And when I snapped last week, and I don't really like to snap on people, but when I know that you're bull crapping me, and I know what I know, and I know you playing with me, I will lose it. And then she was like, yeah, we're supposed to be paying for your medical. I haven't been to the doctor. Because the woman going to tell me, we pay for your bills. I know what bills mean. That means stuff that you've already accumulated. She never told me at any time, we're going to pay for you going to the hospital, going to the doctor. Because if she'd have told me that, I'd have been done going to the doctor about what happened. But no, she just tells me this last week. Because I told them I would. I said, y'all going to make me rip you apart. So now she's like, yeah, we're supposed to be paying for your medicals and your temporary disability and your total disability.
You haven't received none of that yet?
No, because I got to go get a doctor. She told me I got to go back over and get information from the doctor that put me off from work. I got to go get information and try to find a doctor up here where I live. But then I got sick. And I wasn't able to even leave the house. My house looked like kids been in here playing around. And I'm not used to that because everybody tells me they think I got OCD when it comes to cleaning. I just don't like to be in the house. I can't. It just freaks me out.
Mocha DMG says she came back with a comment. She says that's identity theft. What your so-called friend was doing.
Yeah, they're going to get it for fraud. I talked to the GBI. They said that's 10 years per case. So, yeah, she needs to be locked up.
Mocha also came back.
Press the issue.
Mocha also came back. She says you might also want to put a block on your credit as well if you have any credit cards or anything like that.
Girl, my credit already bad. Ain't no need putting a block. I don't think anybody can make it any worse with what it is. But I'm trying to get somebody to straighten it out now so I can try to get a car, because right now my car got repoed. My car, everything goes. I'm borrowing somebody else's car. I want to give them their car back so bad. I appreciate it, but I don't like people that are like, oh God, it's like dealing with a 60-year-old child. Child stuck in a 60-year-old body. I'm telling you, it's weird.
Amara, you've been through so much. I want to thank you for coming on to share your story. Have you considered I will say outreach. Have you considered outreaching to people like have you considered a GoFundMe or something like that to, to see if people will find it in their heart to help you?
None of that up. I don't know how to set none of that up. I'm not really a computer person. Like, if it's something that somebody needs me to do on the computer and they sit down and show me how to do it or whatever, I can catch it. I'm mostly learned by showing instead of just like, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do that.
Do you have any kids?
I have 2 girls. One of them I didn't raise, and the other one is in love. And that's one of those weird things. Ooh. Look.
I got you. Oh, man.
She ain't going nowhere. She's too busy trying to make sure he don't do nothing. That's what I know. I'm like, boy, you going to learn. They're going to do whatever they want to do, whether they're with you or without you.
Wow. Well, you definitely got you definitely got support, my prayers and my the love, hopefully everything works out for you. You know what I'm saying? You have any idea when you'll find out the results?
No, I have no idea. I'm probably gonna find out Monday because I'm getting antsy and I want to know.
Well,
because then I have to start doing what I know what to do. That medicine and active effects, I'm already struggling with this antibiotic, and I had to call an herbalist. I knew. He said, "Look, this is an emergency. Take the antibiotic." He said the herbs take a while to work. You just take the antibiotic and get the infection, and then you start with the herbs. So I took his advice, and I know he knows what he's talking about because in 2000 they gave him a death sentence, and I met him last year at 7-9 to overlook 5 points. He healed himself because he met Dr. Sadie.
Is your father still alive?
Yeah, he called me about 2 weeks ago, and it was one of them heart-wrenching deals to where he's my stepfather. My dad didn't want to have nothing to do with me. I was 2 years old, and my mother set me in a tub of very hot water and scalded me to death, almost. My stepfather said that there was 2 things that he had promised himself in life. He said he would always protect children and the elders. And he took me and all my other siblings. I wasn't his. He raised me, sent me to college, all that good stuff. And he called me 2 weeks ago, and he's real sick. I haven't seen him. When I did go to see him, he couldn't see me because of the COVID stuff. And he told me, he said, I just want you to know you've been a joy to have around. Anytime I've been sick, I could always count on you because his real kids never came, Anytime they told me he was sick, I'll never forget in 2009, the ice storm, I dropped everything and left. I stayed in the hospital for 30 days by his side. I never left. And he told me if anybody ever deserved to make it, it was you. And that's why I started my company, was to basically make sure he'd be able to take care of himself. His medicines, you can't really afford them, so he kind of quit taking a lot of them. And he has cancer. And I don't think I'm going to be able to the car I have won't make it there. So I haven't seen my dad in a long time, and I really love him. I don't consider him my stepdad either. I really don't. And I told him I'll thank him for saving my life.
Amara, like I said,
I love him.
Like I said, keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Yeah. And oh God, I ain't even called to tell him the problem I have because he already know I'll cry at the drop of a dime, and I don't want my dad to worry about me because that's why I think he's still living, to tell you the truth. Because he told me, you're always the one I worry about. You're not married, by yourself. And I think he wants to just make sure I'm okay before he leaves there.
You get that.
And I already know it's what it is.
You get that strength. Yadi says, Yadi says, "Stay strong, Queen. I lost my mom and daughter the same year." He said, "You can get through it with time and faith. You will overcome anything." Father D also says that prayers out to you and your family. Amara, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on, sharing your story.
Yes,
I mean, if you, this is kind of crazy, but if you had to do it all over again, would you would have got into trucking?
oh God, yeah. Look, it was like a vacation and getting paid to go on a vacation. That's where I looked at it. And then the people I've met, I wouldn't trade it in for nothing in the world. I met some of the most beautiful people that I've ever met in my life out there on that road. Old, young. Other than, I think it was 7, and we still friends. I remember I'm over in one truck stop. I think it was over in Baytown. I'm in one truck stop. I think he was over at the Flying J. And we was talking back and forth. He said, "Come over here. We having a party." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, we barbecue and everything." Well, my first question gonna be, "Where y'all wash the meat at?" And he gonna tell me, "Oh, we just took it out the pack and put it on the grill." I said, "Y'all gonna be sick as hell tomorrow." And they were. I'm like, "I got some meat right out of the pack." Look. So I've met some amazing people that I have been friends with for a long time, and it's just like the connection. And some of them we all get together on the weekend and just be us laughing and talking about our ordeals that we've been through out there on the road. But yeah, I'd do the same thing over again. It's something about that being out there on the road. I've been to some beautiful places that some people have never even seen, never even left their house.
Have some of your friends reached out to you for help? The ones that you met over the course of your journey.
Some of these people that you meet over the course of your journey, they'll say one thing and do another. I had one friend was supposed to come over. I couldn't even get out of bed. I said, "Please come over here and help me take my trash out." I said, "I can't even get out of bed." "Okay, I got you. Don't worry about it." It started getting dark. I called, wouldn't even answer the phone. This was Tuesday. Guess when they called me? Today.
I guess it is coming.
I told them, "Please don't ever call my phone. Please don't ever call my phone again. Just don't."
I guess
Please. I'm at this point now. I'm cutting off.
I guess it is. I guess it is true what people say. When you at your lowest point, you really know who your friends are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just like I didn't even know that the light company here don't even take a credit card. I had one lady who was going to pay my whole light bill, and they was like, "We don't take credit card." I just bust out in tears. I just couldn't believe it.
Man. Well, what I'll do is if you have a Cash App or something like that, maybe some of my subscribers or viewers that will watch this in the replay, maybe you guys can help this young lady out with anything that you can. Do you have a Cash App that you like to let people know that you got, so if anybody that sees this on a replay or anybody in the stream tonight that feels that they want to help out a little?
Yes, it's $, capital B is in boy, E is in Edward. It's capital B. Everything else is lowercase. E is in Edward. A is in Apple. S is in Sam. L is in love. E is in Edward. Y is in Yahoo.
Hold on, you talking too fast. Start over. Go.
Sorry. All right. $, capital B is in boy, lowercase, E is in Edward, A is in Apple, S is in Sam, L is in Love, E is in Edward, Y is in Yahoo, capital A, lowercase L, and lowercase I.
Okay. $. You don't have to worry about the capital. You know, it's when they hit on it, they hit on it. But B as in boy.
They're not gonna see a picture of me though.
Oh, okay. So I will put the capital. So hold on right quick. So capital B. So capital B, E as in Edward, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, Y as in Yancey, capital A, hold on, A as in Adam, L as in Larry, and I as in it.
Right. Beasley Ali.
Okay. There you go. I just posted it into the chat. So if anybody, and I would also post it as a link in the description after end of this show.
Tell them I appreciate them listening to my story.
No doubt. I'm glad
I finally got to tell it.
They can hear you.
I really am.
They can hear you.
But I'm glad y'all got to hear my story. I really wanted to tell it one day. I always had that in my mind. I wanted people to know my story, what has happened to me since I've been in the industry.
Yes. Do you have, before we get on up out of here, do you have any tips or advice for young ladies that's thinking about coming into the industry? Truckers Coach, what's going on, man?
Follow your first instinct. I've never had a weapon since I've ever been out there on the road, and I've always paid attention to my instinct. And I've had people follow me. Yeah. Right. I've had people literally follow me. And I could feel my whole instinct was like, you can't park here, leave. And I would go. So follow your instinct.
I got you. Well, Amara, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate it. You definitely.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Not a problem. You definitely take care of yourself.
I will.
If you know, you're welcome to come on the show or give me a call anytime you want. All right.
I am. I do have a good note, though, I'm going to go out on.
Go ahead.
I took it upon myself today because at this present time, I'm in the process. I'm linked up with the government. I'm taking their classes for federal contracting. And something this morning just told me, because I wanted to get into import-export, and they will teach you that for free through the federal government. I want people to know that. There's information that I have that a lot of people will not share. They would charge you $5,000 for this information. It happens across my path, I guess you would say, when it needed to. So I decided I was going to call an import-export company today to see if they would sit down and show me a little something. Wow. So I would be able to, kind of breeze through this class and know a little bit of what I'm doing and what they're talking about. So I called 2 places. It didn't work. And it was just like something said, because this is where I listen to my instincts. I'm like spiritually guided, and I listen to what I'm being told. And it was like, take another call. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call one more person. So I called this one place, and we got to talking. And I told him, I said, well, I got over 20 years experience in the transportation industry. He said, oh, my God, I've been looking for you. I said, huh? He said, I've been looking for somebody that I can send, pay for their books, and send them to take the test to be a customs broker. And he said, would you be willing to do that? And he said, and we team up. He said, because I'm an ex-vet. He was in the military. So I told him yes. He has all the other certifications, and I got the other part.
That's what's up.
Me and him are going to meet, and he said that he would come up here to where I'm at in the Blue Ridge because he's looking for a warehouse. And he said that he would basically pay for my books and for me to take that test in the customs broker. And he said that way, he said, you set your own prices. And he said, and then you're the ones to check and see if you want to let stuff in here or not.
Well, God, that's God working for you. God definitely works in mysterious ways. So that is definitely God working for you. Well, that's I appreciate you coming out and telling your story, and hopefully everything will work out. Blessings to you and to everybody that's around you, and I will get back with you at a later date, and we'll do a follow-up to see how everything's going with you.
All right. Y'all stay safe out there on that road. Keep it in between the ditches.
All right. Now you take it easy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, y'all. That's heart-wrenching story from a strong 20-year driver. It's not all that pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's not all that pretty. And you got drivers that like to come out and just tell they the good, the glitz, the glamour. You know what I'm saying? But here's a young lady, that been in the game 20 years strong, and she been through so much. So if you guys can help her out, you know what I'm saying, there's her cash app right there. If you guys can help her out, show her some love, that will be very appreciated. So that's going to do it for this episode of Lockoutmen Podcast. I really do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I know I'm a little late, y'all. But I got a show to do, and I still got to drive too. You know what I'm saying? I got 2.5 hours to get to where I need to be. So that's what I do, y'all. I do this for you. So thank you very much. Make sure you guys push some pressure on that like button. If you like what I do over here, make sure you subscribe, comment, share, all that other stuff. I don't even need to go into that rhetoric, but just make sure you put some pressure on that like button. If you guys want to, if you guys, I don't know. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Until next time, I do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. You guys take it easy, and I'll come back at y'all with another show. So stay tuned until Monday. Peace.
Cause baby, once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. You gon' have to settle with another man. But when you realize, don't be running back.